Today is Friday, the 14th, and that means it's time for your weekly status chats. Just a weekly blog I put up dealing with the economy, the people ticks of the economy, how it affects each person or potentially affects each person when we have our policies put before us. And of course, you and I have nothing to do with that. We just can only swing at what's been pitched at it. So there we are. We'll get into today right after I say, I am Delbridge, Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and let's get at it. If you like this content, please go to CallDelToSell.com, find the tab that says on YouTube, click it, and it'll open up a page of QR codes. There you can use a smartphone to scan and get to the YouTube page, or you can just mouse over and click it on a PC. There you'll be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you when each Friday's blog has been uploaded. Thank you. Okay, so today I just want to address just for a little bit the stuff that floats out there on the internet by all the supposed experts, and we've seen how so many of them can be dead wrong as far as saying the rate cuts and all that kind of stuff. A lot of that I think is more clickbait to keep people excited and to tell people emotionally how to respond to the situation rather than the facts, because the facts don't really care about your feelings. The facts just care about being accurate. Sometimes we don't get facts that are actually accurate. We get facts that are tainted by opinion and shaded one direction or another. What we didn't see a cut this week, we're not likely to see one toward the end of the year, and now people are talking about, well, maybe September, I think it is the target, but the Fed continues to say month after month that they have a meeting. We have not made a decision, and we're waiting on information, and we're waiting on inflation to cool, and unemployment could change it. Lots of stuff can change it. So it's really a month by month type of when they have their meeting type of thing. So we may have a cut coming, but if it's just one cut of 0.25%, that's not going to have a big effect, and you really need to balance how much inflation is affecting the housing prices. Keep installed in my program, if you will, over with the Real Scout. It's available free. You can get on in that and set up the account. I won't harass you for the most part. For the most part, I shouldn't harass you at all. So you can at least start seeing some stuff that's coming in your area that you are particularly wanting to build your expertise in, if you know where you want to move. So, or sell if that's the case. Now, I want to hit on this one thing. We keep hearing about the NAR, the National Association of Realtors, proposed settlement, and that's what I want to hit you with. Is this proposed, the settlement so far, to my knowledge, have not been accepted, and people talk about these things like they're done and dusted. They are, however, forcing change in how business is done. Now, one of the things that they were accusing people of is collusion and setting of commissions and that sort of thing, and acting like commissions were not negotiable. Every buying and selling of a home, you're bringing two partners together for a mutual benefit. Those things have always been negotiable. Now the question is, how's that going to fetch your reputation, your outlook on things if you're not presenting accurate information? Well, here's the deal. We're still doing business. Business is still open. We're still open for business, but the difference is how we're going to be doing that. We're going to see some changes in some documents coming up, but it's always negotiable. Every deal is negotiable. That's why you have an advocate who is contractually bound to your best interest, and we do that. That's what we're here for. Now, I don't crow a lot about the mechanics of things because I figure until you want to get on the hook and go. Now, we might be able to do a tour where we try each other out before I ask you to sign an agreement, a representation agreement. That's now not going to be so much as optional as mandatory, because we're going to have to go into basically, instead of having the listing agent set things up and say, well, this is what we're going to offer as, you know, the starting point for certain things, we're going to do it a little bit differently, and you're going to have to agree, if you're going to get representation, with that representative who's going to go up to bat for you in the transaction. That's how it's going to work. Then we're going to have that agreement. And you know, if at the first meeting and the first going around you don't like the way things are done, it's a trial period for both you and for me, because maybe I get the feeling that you're not really going to be as cooperative as we need to go forward, because I'm going to ask you to go to the bank and get an analysis, see if you can get a pre-approval letter. That's going to show me that you're putting in the effort, that you're not just wasting time on a weekend, because this happens to be a weekend that you don't have to do much, and it might be a good time to go look at houses. You know, this is a business. This is an arrangement for the people involved to try to get a transaction accomplished. We're not out here to waste each other's time, and it's a simple thing. If you're serious about getting into the market or moving where you are from where you are to where you want to be, that's all possible. But we can't blame the interest rates forever and say, well, you know, the interest rates are high and whatever. Do you even know what mortgage rate you personally can apply for? Because it's going to be up to your financial situation, and that we need real quickly before we start getting too far down the line, because I don't want to waste your time, you don't want to waste my time. If we don't mesh, if you don't like the pace the way things are going, that's your opportunity before you sign the representational agreement, because we're going to need that before we go any further. Now, we have a lot of options available to us, and they all depend on you calling me or texting me or emailing me to your intent, because that's what it's all about. Now, that's all I have to say today. I wanted to keep it kind of short. There are some new things going down the road. Things that appear to be going may not be accepted, and we may have more changes. We do have some dates where some things that are going to affect our end of it are going to come up, and we're going to have a period about that point in time we have some adjustments. So I would suggest that you really get serious if you want to do this, because Jay Powell, Chairman Powell, has indicated that, you know, these rates are not going to change anytime in the near future. Meanwhile, inflation continues to impact the cost of everything. And you need to get in. If you need help, I've got some great people we can work with. Get you started. Let them look at you and say, you're in great position, or you could be in a better position. This could help your rate if you attack things in a certain way. And I can't do that if you don't call me, if you don't text me, if you don't email me. So that's all I want to say there. So let's go ahead and get over to our weekly numbers. Hello, I'm Delbridge of Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you are currently unrepresented and would like to know how to compare up to 3 properties side by side and room by room, then go over to my new YouTube channel, CallDelToSell. That's 1 L and Del, no spaces. Watch the demo on Real Scout, and then call me and we'll set up your exclusive ad-free account today. Well, last week we had, which was 6/7/24, we had 20,944 in the opportunities. That's the listed and coming soon properties that we could look at. That increased over the previous period. We had 4315 in the under contracts still showing. That decreased over the previous period, and the integer ratio between those two numbers, what's available and what's still showing, was 21%. That remained unchanged from the previous week. Now, doing a Bob Seger and turning the page here, week of 6/14/24, we find 21,244 in the opportunities. That is the same thing as it was the previous week. The showing and getting ready to show in the coming soons. That's what we have to pick from. That increased over the previous period a little bit. We had 4386 in the under contracts still showing. That also increased over the previous period. But the integer ratio, when we put those together, was 20%, or 1 in 5. So we appreciate you watching. We want you to tell your friends, your enemies, and your frenemies to click, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you get told every Friday when I get the log posted. Sometimes they run late at night. Sometimes I get them done a little bit earlier. I hope this video has been useful to you, and you know how to get in touch with me. We've been streaming them down at the bottom of the screen, various contact points that you can see. I prefer a phone call or a text. Emails work well as well, because then I have that there in a record under your name and contact information once you have given it to me. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend.